In April of 1995, the eyes of the nation were on Oklahoma City as the state's capital grappled with the bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. Keeping the nation informed was a host of seasoned journalists, including veteran reporter Tom Brokaw. Brokaw recently returned to Oklahoma City as part of the Oklahoma State University Spears School of Business Speaker Series, where he reflected on his time covering the Oklahoma City bombing.
A massive car bomb exploded outside of a large federal building in downtown Oklahoma City, shattering that building, killing children, killing federal employees, military men, and civilians.
When I come to Oklahoma City, I remember so well the Murrah building because I spent a lot of time here during that, and it was a very trying ordeal, not just for the people of Oklahoma City, most of all for them, but for those of us who were here as well.
There is, as you might expect, a kind of surreal quality to the scene in downtown Oklahoma City as rescue workers work round the clock in that very dangerous rubble trying to find any survivors.
Well, I have a lot of memories. To see the building, the courthouse, the federal building, which is, was a symbol of the place of government in our lives, and to see that god-awful wound in the side of it and know the damage that had been done. And the people of Oklahoma City, I actually wrote about it, I think, in the paper, were astonishing because they were working through their grief while they were continuing their rescue efforts and dealing with it. And we were treated with the utmost courtesy. I was telling Michael, who drove me over here today, that we set up shop in a printing shop not too far away from the building, and we ordered barbecue the first night, and every night after that, that barbecue place just arrived without us even calling. And then I came back, I think, a year later for the dedication of the memorial. And it was a great trial for the country to have had some homegrown terrorist do what he did. And it was a wake-up call, frankly, about vigilance and having a civil debate about, the place of government in our lives. And when we came back the second time, we went to the emergency rooms and talked to the doctors. My daughter is a ER physician, and actually her husband is from Claremore, so we felt connected in a way. And when I went over there to talk to the ER physicians, they made you so proud that they chose the profession that they did because they were still emotionally roiled by what they'd been through. Then I went to the trial of Timothy McVeigh in Denver, and that opening sequence of the prosecution, you knew the case was over by noon that day because they had the people who were trying to adjudicate the water dispute across the street. And then that told you that there is a role for government. Then they have the young Marine pilot who almost lost his life because he was blown up. And he'd come in that day to try to help a Hispanic sergeant get an officer's commission. So it all played out. This is the American way. And someone came along and willfully senselessly tried to destroy that and destroyed a lot of lives in the process, but didn't kill the spirit of the city or the people who were involved.